This question looks very difficult, but it is some very basic information that has been twisted up in the SAT's usual way to make it seem harder than it is. So you just need to be able to notice the basics that are underlying the actual question and then untwist it, get back to basics as much as you can. So the first thing you need to notice is what this phrase no solution represents, okay? That is code. It is a way of talking about the way that two lines are going to intersect. So in this case, if they have no solution, they have no intersection. That only happens when they move in the same direction and they go past each other. That's what happens when they are parallel, okay? And we also need to know what that means for the equations. If they are parallel, they have the same slope. So literally what the SAT is doing here is telling us that we have two lines with the exact same slope, except they've twisted it up and told you that very important piece of information in an unfamiliar way. So you got to be able to untwist the vocab and get back to this very basic fact that we need two lines with the same slope. Well, let's start with the slope of the line we are given in the graph. What is that slope? Well, we can do a little bit of a formula here if we want, but I would say this is a case where rise over run is going to save us. We rise from 0 to 3, so that's a rise of 3 up, and then we go to the right 2, right, from negative 2 to 0, so that's plus 2. So my slope here is 3 over 2. And again, we could plug this into the form if we want. I'm just saving a little bit of time by doing rise over run. So 3/2 is my slope. So what is going to be the equation then of this other line? Well, you might be tempted to take a shortcut here and pick C. I would be very hesitant though, because I don't know the slope of this other line quite yet as far as K goes, which is what we're actually supposed to solve for, because this other line is not written in y equals mx plus b form. So I would manipulate it to get there. It doesn't take much. I just need to add y to both sides, and I get that kx is equal to y, or to flip it around, y is equal to kx, and now I can see much more clearly that k is the slope of this line, and so now I feel safe just saying it's going to have the same slope, which is 3/2. So if you did take that little shortcut, it wouldn't have cost you here, but I can see another version of this SAT question where they do try to manipulate you a little bit. So that's why no matter how they present the information, you want to kind of get back to the basics that you're comfortable with. Y equals mx plus b is a very basic idea. Whenever you've got lines, that's a safe place to get back to, and then hopefully avoid the kinds of tricks and traps that the SAT is setting for you.